Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, today we're going to be recreating this really beautiful shift dress that has a lovely front design around the neck. So, let's begin. Here's what I'll be using this African print ankara fabric. I have 2 yards of it, and then I have this black fabric, which is called mirror face in the market. And then you also need lining because that's what I'll use to turn the front design. Then here's my tassel and some cover buttons that I made in the market. I wasn't sure which size would be perfect, so I just made big and small sizes. Well, we'll see what's going to work. Now, to begin, as you know, shift dresses, we cut the front and the back bodies together. So we fold into four by first folding in half and then folding again. So you fold it twice. And after you fold it, here's the folded edge, it's towards me. On this side, you're going to have 4 layers of fabric. So that's the folding into four. Then you need to determine if you have enough width of fabric by adding your half shoulder plus your desired sleeve length. For me, what I have here is fine. So I just ruled my shoulder line at the top of the fabric by coming down roughly half an inch. And now it's time to take the neck measurements. I use 3 inches for the front and the back neck width. Now for the neck depth, I use 1.5 inches for the back and I use 8 inches for the front because of the V-neck that it has in front. So you quickly mark those points and then connect them this way. So for the front neck, you're going to connect it with a slant line because it's a V-neck. Then it's time to take the half shoulder measurement starting from the folded edge. I'm using 9 inches. Mark that point, and then from that point you take your sleeve length measurement. You need to remember that you're going to subtract around 2 inches from what you want the dress to be because of the fabric we're attaching to the sleeves. Then come down from that point by 1.5 inches for the shoulder slope. Then you connect that shoulder slope to the neck width with a slant line, just like this. Okay. Then you take the arm opening. Whatever you need, you're going to add 1 inch to that. I'm using 11 inches. And then from that point, I came inwards like this. And that's going to be my chest line. So now I'll take the rest of my horizontal measurements, which are my shoulder to waist, shoulder to hip. So I quickly extended those points with horizontal lines like this. Now for the hem of the dress, you also need to subtract 2 inches from how long you want your dress to be. I'm using 40 inches because I'm going to add 2 inches when I'm done with the black fabric. Now for my body measurements, I divide by 4 and I added 3 inches because I didn't want the dress to be so large. After you make those points, the same measurement on the hip is what you're going to add to the hem of the dress. Connect those points and make a curve around the armpit area. And now it's time to cut. And you know we cut the back neckline first, then we cut the shoulder area, and then the rest of the dress. But for the shoulder, you're going to move up half an inch from the line that you marked. Then you take away one piece of fabric. That would be for the back bodies. And now you can cut the front neck. All right. So now to the main highlight of this dress, which is the front neck design. Now you're going to use, for the length of this black fabric, you're going to use your shoulder to your waist measurement. For me, 19 inches. And then I use 9 inches for the width on fold. That means when I open it up, it's around 18 inches. So fold it in half and align the folded edge of that black fabric with the folded edge of your front bodice. Mark out the V-neck area and then cut that area out. Okay, then you're going to start tracing 4 inches from the top just like this, and just like take that same measurement all around the V-neck area. I'm using 4 inches. It might be a bit too big, but I was comfortable with 4 inches because I am going to join with um, my lining. Now, for the bottom, you're going to use your bust point divided by 2 plus 1. For me, it was 4.5 inches. So when I add 1 inch, it became 5.5 inches. So just measure out that point like this and then go up by the same measurement. All right, so now it's time to connect the dots. From this second point here, we're going to trace a slant line towards this edge like this. And then we're going to connect these 4 inches dots that we made earlier with a slant line. Now for the last connection, we're going to make a curve to join these 2 points. You can use your free hand, but I used my ruler like this. Using your free hand will work just well. Now you can cut that out. And there you have it. When you open it up, this is what you're going to have. Yes. Okay, I was so proud of myself after I did this. So now all we need to do is just get the lining fabric and trace out the same pattern on it, because that's what we're going to use to turn it. So just fold it in half and like basically repeat just what we did now. Place this mirror face fabric on top of it. I use pins to hold the fabrics down so that they don't move around. And then I just cut by just cutting around all the edges. I prefer to use a lining to turn this design. I was more comfortable using a lining than to use interfacing. It wasn't so easy to sew the first time I tried it. So I'm just quickly tracing out the back neckline facing and just cut that out and put it away. So yeah, I'm just cutting out, sorry, I'm trying to get the point where I'm going to attach my pockets. I'm using 20 inches, which is just 1 inch below my waistline. So here I have the front and the back bodies on top of each other, so that when I make that notch, it's going to reflect on the both of them. So I already cut out my pockets here. And then I went ahead to get the measurement for the length of fabric I'll be needing for the hem and for the sleeves. I just wanted to get everything sorted. I wanted to cut everything that I need. So here's the black fabric. I used about 4.5 inches width for the sleeves, and I used 5 inches width for the hem. So now we need to start sewing. Okay, so to join the mirror face to the lining, I place the right side on top of the lining fabric, and this is how I'm going to sew. I'm only going to sew around the edges from the top on one side to the top on the other side, but we're not going to sew on the V-neck area, okay, because that's where you turn it from. So to sew, I use pins to keep them in place, and I used about 1/2 inch sewing allowance to sew around them. Then you quickly notch all around and trim off the pointy corners, like pointy edges. And then you can now turn it. When you turn it out, it doesn't look neat. That's when your pressing iron comes in handy, because if you give it a really good press, it will now stay flat. Okay, so now we need to attach it to the dress. To do that, place the wrong side of your dress facing up and place the right side of the front design on top of it. Don't forget, right side to wrong side. Okay, and then you can now sew around the V-neck area. I use slightly above half an inch sewing allowance. So you see why my 4 inches is in place, because by the time you finish sewing around, you are going to be using up the fabric. So you need to make sure you have enough so that when you trim off, when you notch, you're not going to end up with a small design on your dress. Okay. Again, don't mind those edges that are looking ruled, because a good iron will keep it down and flat. And now to attach it to the dress permanently, you're going to sew around just like this. And make sure you're sewing as close to the edge and as neat as possible. Okay, so don't mind the fast forward that's making it really fast. You need to take your time when you're doing that. Go as slowly as you feel you need to so that you can get it right. So in order for this video not to be so lengthy, I went ahead to join the dress, attach the sleeves, the hem and pockets and everything. So for the final touch, I'm now going to attach the cover buttons and the tassel. I decided to do that first. So first thing I did was to make a knot around that using that loop so that it's not so lengthy. So you quickly finish up the buttons and your dress is ready, guys. Look at that. I was so proud of myself and I really enjoyed wearing this dress. It actually got me a lot of compliments. Wow. I hope you're going to be trying this. Please leave your comments. I really enjoy to read your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching and until next time. Bye.